I don't know if you guys heard the news or not yet, but 6ix9ine is out of jail. He's home and he's back, folks. So you probably remember a few months ago when Tekashi 6ix9ine was like this huge viral meme going around because he had snitched and he was going to jail and all this other stuff. And it kind of blew up all over the place, primarily because, like, you know how it is. The culture in the rap industry and stuff like that is like you can't really cooperate with the police. You're not supposed to tell on people, things like that. And here's this rainbow-haired dude out here who rapped about all this gangster shit and then is now all of a sudden in cahoots with the federal authorities and everything. I mean, you know, you gotta kind of understand it a little bit. Obviously, there's two sides to the story. I understand both of them in all reality, but the whole thing became a huge meme. It was like one of the biggest news topics for a very long time. I mean, it was months that this whole thing really went on. It was fucking insane. 6ix9ine is back. He is home. I guess he's no longer in prison. I think he got early release because of the whole coronavirus pandemic, which obviously was a huge break. And with that being said, he has come back to a very insane whole set of different things going on. I mean, he goes on Instagram, he breaks the record for concurrent viewers on an Instagram Live, he drops a new song on YouTube, it gets like 13 million views in a matter of hours. It was insane, right? He just came back and just dropped all this shit going on and was just out here going insane. I'm not sure if the amount of YouTube views that he got was actually setting a record or anything, but I mean, it's still pretty impressive nonetheless. And that's kind of what I want to talk about here, because he said some stuff on his Instagram Live that I think needs to be talked about, and in all reality, I mean, it's a weird situation, right? I don't think he was supposed to be out this early, and now that he's back on the bullshit, man. He's taunting other rappers and all kinds of different stuff. So he dropped another song, and I guess a video as well, called Gooba, okay? And the thing is, the funny part, in my opinion, is that he filmed the music video to the song in his backyard on home confinement, because obviously, I mean, he got early release from prison. That doesn't mean he's not still technically being punished in some way, right? Like, he's on house arrest, basically, so he can't just be out in the street filming music videos and stuff like that. So he went on Instagram Live, he had a lot to say, obviously, and in this whole record-breaking Instagram Live, I mean, it was a whole different slew of things. I mean, for a long time, he was just kind of flaunting his new jewelry he had, which in my opinion isn't smart because he probably already has a target on his head. I don't really think that flexing jewelry is really a very smart thing to be doing. I understand that's kind of like, I guess, realistically the point of getting it is to say, oh, look what I have, this shit is expensive. I understand that, but I mean, when you're in this kind of situation, yeah, probably not a very good idea to just be like, oh, I got $1.6 million worth of fucking jewelry on my neck. If you don't have this same watch that I do, we can't talk to each other, we can't beef because we're not in the same bracket. Like, I don't know, not necessarily something I would be doing if I were in said situation, but I guess he's just a lot more vocal than me. Go ahead and take a look.
I don't give my old jewelry back to get new jewelry. This is $500,000. $500,000. Look at the diamonds in them teeth. And nobody got this watch. Well, I think like 2 people got it, but if you don't got this watch, we can't beef. Me and you are not in the same bracket at all. If you don't got this watch right here, this watch, over $500,000, why we can't beef? I broke the YouTube. I'm at 5 million views in 1 hour. Y'all can't even get 100,000 views. Listen. We can't beef. There's no beef. I'm the king. Y'all know this. Listen. You know the legendary shit that I be talking about? You know why people so mad? Because they thought it was over for me. They counted me out. Oh, you ratted, it's over for you. Y'all could never cooperate with the government and come back. Y'all could never do that. I'm a living legend at the age of 24 years old. Oh, well, he winning right now, yo, how y'all let that kid rat, right? How y'all let him rat and come home to still get more numbers than us? Break all the records. Why y'all can't stand it or something? Y'all can't stand it. Y'all can't listen. You live your whole life, right? You live your whole life trying to be a real nigga. And this is me. This is real Danny shit. Fuck 6ix9ine, right? This is some Daniel Hernandez shit. You live your whole life trying to be a real nigga, trying to be a stand-up tall, loyal guy. To try to shit on a kid like me, to be like, yo, fuck that, he's a rat. To be like, yo, he ratted. To then a rat like me to come home and still do more numbers than you, I would be mad too.
Alright, so he's, I guess, flaunting all of this, fanfare that has gone on since he's been released from prison and since, he started releasing new content and things like that for people to listen to, and the Instagram Live that a lot of people watched. That's something he should be hyped about because, I mean, obviously his career's not dead. I feel like everyone just figured that he was done the moment he came out, that there was realistically no chance for him to come back and make anything of himself, but in all reality, that's not the case. I mean, this, I think, realistically just proves it more and more that he has a chance. I don't know if he's going to capitalize on it. He probably will. I don't think it'll be that hard, but he does honestly have a chance coming out of prison to, I guess, come back to the music industry. Even if other people are calling him out for shit, like Meek Mill had plenty to say about him, calling him a rat and all kinds of other stuff. But in all reality, I really don't think that so many people are paying attention to what he's doing because, they're happy to see him out. I think he knows that, obviously. He kind of addressed that. He said that everyone kind of wanted him to fuck up and fail and fall off the face of the earth and whatnot. But he then turns around and is like, oh, look at this, I'm breaking all these records, I'm doing all these numbers that you others couldn't do, and, well, yeah, I mean, that's true, like, most people couldn't just hop on Instagram Live and 2 million people show up and just start checking out what's going on. But, I mean, most people, they're not watching you because they're fans of your content, they're not fans of, like, what you're doing. Most people at this point are kind of just like watching you because you've become a public spectacle. Like ever since this whole story even really started where you got arrested and then there was the rumors that you were going to cooperate with the police and everything. After all the shit that you had said and done in the past and how much of a drastic turn that was, you became a public spectacle, let's be honest. People have just been watching you simply almost, I would say, like kind of like a clown, you know what I mean? They think that like it's funny to watch you fuck up in a way, that they wanted to get on live because they knew that you were going to be fresh out of jail with plenty of shit to say on your mind. They were hoping you'd say something crazy. They were hoping that they could just kind of laugh at what was going on for a little bit. Let's be honest about that. I mean, I think he understands that. I mean, sure, yeah, like he does have fans who will listen to his music and whatnot, but 13 million views in a matter of hours is just, it's crazy, right? Because he's not on like a Drake level. Or even like, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar or somebody could pull off 13 million views that quick. I don't know. They probably could at this point. But like, he's not on that kind of level, right? He's not in like the elite tier of rappers and things like that. People who can just jump out a song real quick and that shit just blows up overnight. Like everyone I know, for instance, listened to the song simply to see if it was just going to be a change of pace from what he's dropped in the past, just to see if he'd like, I don't know, have a fucking artistic switch. I listened to the song, honestly, not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of his music, if I'm being really honest about this. I don't think he's ever made a song that I've really actually enjoyed, but for the people out there who do enjoy him, like, I guess this is probably a big moment, but when it comes down to the whole situation and the whole big cross he made, like, it's just honestly surprising to see that he's even come this far getting out of jail. And a lot of people have been speculating for a very long time now at this point that, like, he's going to have this target on his back and everything getting out of prison because of the way that he cooperated essentially against a gang. I mean, the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods or whatever they were. For him to kind of, like, step up against them in that kind of way after, like, he was publicly all with them and everything and, like, this was the people that he backed and everything. People have always kind of speculated that him doing that kind of put a target on his back for, snitching and everything. But while that is probably true in some degree, there's probably somebody out there who really wants to fuck him up. I would assume he probably has some pretty good security. I mean, it's not like he's broke. He didn't lose all of his money or anything. I'm pretty sure he actually even signed a new contract. I think while he was in jail, he actually got a multi-million-dollar contract, which, I mean, at this point, I remember hearing about that and I was like, holy shit, that's a horrible idea because he's going to be in jail for a while and by the time he comes out, people might honestly have forgotten about the whole thing and not really giving a shit anymore. But I mean, the odds, he got out early that's the first part of it. He got out early, so he maintains some recency relevancy and everything because, I mean, the whole story was only just popping a few months ago, essentially. So they might have actually gotten, like, a good return on investment at this point if he drops some music and it goes viral or whatever, But, I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and hope that something happens to him, honestly, even though I don't necessarily agree with every single thing that he did. In all reality, what it really comes down to for me is, I mean, if you're not really about these kinds of lifestyles and shit like that, don't preach it, you know what I mean? And I understand that there's, like, a culture in rap music where you have to, like, you basically have to act as tough as you fucking can. You gotta have all these chains. You gotta have nice cars. I understand that, but there's plenty of rappers who get away with not doing that. You know what I mean? There's plenty of rappers who have made extremely successful careers out of simply just being realistic, out of admitting their faults and not pretending to be some shit that they're not. And, of course, 6ix9ine is not one of those people. His whole career, basically, at this point, was based on his very loud and brash tone of music, basically screaming on the beat, you know, talking about gangbanging, having his nuts hanging, you know what I mean? It's kind of the path that he created, and I'm cool with that, because if you actually do live that kind of lifestyle, that's fine. But when shit hits the fan and then all of a sudden, like, you want to cooperate with the police and completely throw away that entire lifestyle you've been talking about very suddenly, that's when it's, like, very ingenuine. I'm not a person who enjoys a lot of ingenuine behavior, I guess is a good way to say it, especially in that kind of music, you know? I don't really fuck with, like, the whole character thing a lot of the time. I think most of the time when it, like, especially if it gets exposed this way, it's not really, I'd say, something that I personally enjoy. But at the same time, I kind of understand the decision. I think a lot of people don't really know the full backstory behind what actually happened here. Essentially, 6ix9ine was involved with all of these guys, and they just took advantage of him in pretty much every way that they could. Several different times. Like, he had all these people he associated with. There's rumors that they were basically sleeping with his ex-wife while he was out performing and stuff like that on the road. There was a wiretap that literally caught them plotting to kill him. Keep in mind, these are the people that he associates with and considers extremely close. They're on a wiretap admitting that, you know, and conspiracizing, basically. They attempted to kidnap his mother. They stole millions of dollars from him. There's a video of him being kidnapped at one point. I'm not sure if that's by his associates or what that whole deal is, but there's a video of people fucking kidnapping him. I mean, at that point, I understand to a certain extent, right? Maybe don't be loyal to those kinds of people, especially when, you know, they're so non-loyal to you that they're willing to take your fucking life. I get that, but at the same time, it comes down to, this is the lifestyle that you at this point have preached and you have now entered. And now that there's actual repercussions to it, the street shit actually shows up, all of a sudden now we want to tell the police to get ourselves less time. I mean, I don't know what I would do in that position, if I'm being honest with you. I really have no clue, because I mean, it's a hard decision, right? Most people would definitely crack, I feel like. I feel like most people would probably tell, but I'm not ever going to have to worry about that, hopefully, because I'm not going to ever just be out here preaching some ridiculous shit, right? And even though he's come out and he's done a lot of things already that, you know, indicate that he's not done for good, obviously his reputation's shot at this point. I mean, he has a fucking horrible reputation. A lot of rappers already don't respect him. He's already, you know, trading shots with Meek Mill. And I'm sure he's not the only one who doesn't have respect for the man. And I mean, the whole thing is going to continue to be a spectacle. You know, it's just how it's going to be. It's, I guess, too entertaining for most people to just take their eyes off of. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus and Twitch. And make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, just talking about 6ix9ine and signing out.